What it is, guys, it's your alright, what's up, guys? It's Why So Serious What Is here. We're back again for another video. If you don't already know by the thumbnail or the title of the video, yes, this is what if Deku was Omni fucked. Not Omni. I came up with this idea in my head not too long ago, and the name of it, I want the name to sound like the way Omni screwed up, you know? That he got Omni ficked. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is he got the Omnitrix, but in a very, very painful way. What if Deku got the Omnitrix in a very painful way? Which is, what if, yeah, that's what this video's gonna be named. What if Deku got the Omnitrix in a very fucked up way? That's the name of this video. Alright, what I'm gonna start off is, I'm gonna explain to what I'm gonna give the abilities that I'm gonna give him are good. I already have a list of the abilities I'm gonna give him. First, I'm gonna give him the Omni Kings, the Omni Kings from the reboot. Yeah, I'm giving him that one because why not? I mean, it's a pretty good set, and this new Omnitrix is gonna be a bit different from the original because things. Stop explaining in the beginning of the video and get into the video, you nerd. Alright, I got me. I'm gonna get in the video. Everything's gonna go like it did in canon, except because there's not gonna be a change because Zuko is gonna get the Omnitrix until about around time as the end of school. Yeah, it's the end of school. Everything happened in canon except I gotta think of something. I didn't think that far ahead. I thought of that, but I didn't think of what was gonna happen if I wasn't gonna do what I originally did. By the way, this is the second take of this video. I did the first. This is more of a redo because the first part of the video I wasn't really satisfied with it, so I redid it. Now I think I'm on another bumper. Basically, Izuku is Izuku isn't gonna get caught by the sludge villain, and Izuku isn't gonna get caught by the sludge villain because once all the stuff happens like it did in canon, Izuku's not gonna go the long way or the short way. He's just gonna walk in the woods because why not? I need a reason for him to get kidnapped. And he's gonna need a reason for him to get kidnapped. So he doesn't take the shortcut or the long route. He just goes, he walks up to the woods. He walks into the woods because, he needs some time to think, because as soon as he goes to the short way or the long way, he's gonna get his ass kicked by Bakugo and his goons. Because why not? Let's say Deku actually did say something but ran out of the school and is in the woods because Bakugo and his goons are waiting for him at both sides. Bakugo at the shortcut and his goons at the long way. Very hard life for you. Basically, let's cut back to the space in like 5 minutes ago. But basically, everything that happened with Ben Tennyson happened, but it's not gonna happen on Earth. It's gonna happen on another planet because this one has to be Ben Tennyson free because reasons beyond my belief. I don't know. Anyway. Everything happened with Ben Tennyson except Vilgax actually managed to get his hands on the Omnitrix by cutting off Ben's arm and yada yada yada. Cut to about a year in the future. And Azimuth has created a newer version of the Omnitrix, with the Omni Kinks and other special abilities just so that he can finally take down Vilgax. Vilgax has weaponized the first Omnitrix and he's taking over the galaxy. My bad. Anyway, basically, it can do a bunch of other abilities. Like, it can grant people abilities to the total opposite of what the aliens are allowed to do. Like Heat Blast, he also has ice abilities, and he also has ice abilities, and along with other characters also have different abilities. Basically, one of Azimuth's very, very unloyal scientists, like like albedo type person. He takes the Omnitrix and flees the planet after giving Vilgax a location of Asmus' new base he's been using to build this new Omnitrix, and a little bit of info as Vilgax is going there to kill Asmus and take the new Omnitrix, which the albedo personator, it's not gonna be albedo, it's gonna be something else, but he's gonna die real soon anyway. So he goes to Earth because it's a planet where aliens haven't been known to be at. You know, they haven't been known to hang around at. Basically, let's cut back to the future where Zuko is now currently walking in the woods, and the no evil doctor needs a test subject. If you catch my drift, you know, kidnapped and tortured. You know, if you catch my drift, then you know what's gonna happen to Zuko. A beam shines down on Zuko as Zuko's paranoid, as he doesn't see anything because it's in a cloaking the chameleon switch thing. I don't know. As he's shot up in the ship, and he doesn't remember anything because everything goes black, and it cuts to about an hour later. And Deku's currently chained up to a wall, not to a wall. He's in a giant tube that's filling up with water. A giant tube is filling up with water, and then it's a big giant tank. You know, it's filling up with water, and there's a bunch of machinery, and then a strange-looking device a couple of feet in front of him. It's like activating, and then the room automatically starts to literally the tank just starts shooting up water like a geyser. The tank fills up immediately, and Zuko can't float up because he's chained down to the ground. You know, because why not? And basically, the evil scientist wants to create a weapon that won't get taken, basically. He's trying to figure out if this will work. He's like, what he thought that this weapon was, this version of the Omnitrix was a prototype, and that the real one was back at Asmus' place, or his hideout, which he thought Vilgax would get to, because, you know, he was working with Vilgax, and, you know, but there was just no other Omnitrix. This one was a finished prototype, and he didn't know that while he was experimenting on Deku. Basically, for the next hour or so, Deku would go through extreme torture as the Omnitrix would be placed towards him, and it constantly would outgo electrical shocks in a giant tank of water. Not water, but some type of serum or whatever. And Deku can't... Yeah, he can't breathe underwater, you know. He can't breathe. He keeps getting suffocated, but then he keeps drowning. Jesus. It's probably the same thing, but I don't know what to say with that. He keeps getting revived, and he just keeps dying again because of the lack of oxygen. And the fact is that he's getting electrocuted underwater, or whatever the hell is in. Basically, the scientist starts like, maybe I should add some more random shit into this, you know. Chemicals, don't toss it in there, boom. The next thing you know, the entire thing goes up in smoke as Vilgax is like, what did you do? He captured Asmus because he's like, where's the other Omnitrix? He's like, what other Omnitrix? And then when he went looking for the one he was working on, it was gone. And then, you know, basically Vilgax like, traitor, and he's going after to kill him. And this little commotion is set the machine haywire as the Omnitrix disperses from the middle of the center. Basically, chemical reactions and stuff as Deku is then let out of his chains. And when he goes to swim up the air, the water and everything start to spin around in a circle until it's in a giant ball of water, and it's just him and the Omnitrix floating there. He can't break out of it because it's like all of a sudden the water is as dense as thick as gel. You can't get out of it, you know. If you push at it, it's just gonna keep stretching and expanding and stuff, you know. And then the Omnitrix begins to beep like merge, attachment mode, warrior thing, whatever. As a flash of light happens, as Deku is then hit in the chest as he screams out in pain, shortly dying for a few seconds before another explosion happens, and the scientist who was working on it gets caught in the explosion and is dead. He's dead. I'm not gonna have him come back with like some weird alien DNA because that's stupid. I mean, Albedo and a bunch of other aliens have already done that. Kevin 11 has already done that. It's already old news now. He dies from an explosion due to the third-degree burns going out through his entire face. And they're Galvans, right? They're like probably at least some of the height of a TV remote. Is like it's third-degree burns on his entire face. Not only that, the crash into the back of the wall, it shatters his spine, to crack his head open. If that wasn't any bad, the glass thing gets shot up all in him, including his face, leaving him dead. as another explosion goes off, annihilating that entire corridor. As basically Deku was then rescued by a rescue drone. Inside the ship, there's like more of emergency purposes. Puts him on the ship and puts him on an escape pod, Jesus, and sends him back down to Earth. Now, in the space pod, Deku is in like what you would call a coma, as Deku is now gonna land somewhere in the woods to not get found by anyone, but the heroes are gonna investigate it because an unknown object just fell from Earth. Anyway, when it hits Earth, Deku is still in the coma. It's a coma-like state until the robot, a machine that brought him into the thing, picks him out of it and takes him and flees off in the woods. Because like emergency. And as it's on its way out of the woods, the heroes show up to the crash site, but there's nothing there but just an empty escape pod and tire tracks. Yeah, no, I'm gonna give this thing a Wall-E vibe, like tires, yeah, like a Wall-E vibe, because Wall-E was pretty okay, I guess. You just see tire tracks just leading off into the woods. Now, cutting off to Deku, what happened to him was, you already know what I'm getting at here, but you don't know what I'm getting at here, because I didn't release the first part of this video that was a redo, which leads to this part. Anyways, as it already seems obvious, Deku and the Omnitrix fuse together. It's pretty obvious. Basically, what I'm getting at here is that the Omnitrix fused not with just him, fused with this entire body. Not his entire body, just fused with just fused with a little section of his body. Fused with his heart and his lungs. No, just fused with his heart and also his brain. His brain and everything up there to his face. Fused with all that, basically. Deku is basically more looking to be like a cyborg. Not really. But he can control what he does, like if he's like, transforming into a full state, he can see the transformation of what he's supposed to turn into or something. And when he transforms, the HUD, the HUD or whatever the hell you want to call it, the HUD disappears out of his eyes or whatever, and he just in the transformed. Oh my god, did that make sense? Basically, Deku was a cyborg, except the only thing that was changed was his heart and his brain and his eyes and his other retinas and whatever. It's not gonna like put anything weird in his blood. It's only just gonna, when Omnitrix is activated, it's gonna mutate his blood into an alien's DNA, which would basically turn him into a humanoid alien type thing. Which, what I'm getting at here, he won't look like full aliens. He'll look like Deku. He'll just have like all the features that these aliens will have. He'll if he turns into forearms, he'll have his hair. He won't increase in size. He won't increase in size. He'll stay the same size. He'll grow for arms. He won't have that much muscle, but he'll be as strong as an adult. As he'll be as strong as forearms. He literally is as strong as forearms. Basically, nothing changed really. He still has all the alien strengths, and I'm pretty sure most of them have weaknesses. But he also has Omnitrix. He can activate Omnitrix, kicks, whatever the hell it is, outside of his transformed form, like having an armor suit around him. Omnitrix symbol does appear on his chest when he does it, though. It appears to the left or right, whatever the hell it does. Basically, yeah. Basically, this entire transformation has changed Deku. Now his brain, now in his like coma-like state, he's having all this alien information and Galvan technology and language, and just putting in his brain. Just right there in that moment. It's all in his mind, right there in that moment, it's all in his mind. Yeah. Imagine learning an entire planet's language in a matter of a second. That's dangerous. Overload. Anyway, as it's leaving the woods, one of nothing's gonna happen. Deku's gonna be like, yeah, Deku's search, not Deku, but Vilgax's search drone, or whatever the hell is gonna come down to Earth. It's gonna look for Deku, but since the Omnitrix is inside Deku, they won't find anything on him. When they do find him, they'll have to look inside of him, which is gonna be real difficult for you to do. But yeah, the next day comes by. Deku was missing for a night. Is Bakugo like, the little punk probably went home, Bakugo's gonna, he's not gonna get one for all. Mirio's gonna get one for all. I think it's Bakugo's reign has been His Bakugo's not gonna get one for all. His reign of terror. He's not gonna get one for all this time. You're not gonna get one for all. You Bobby can't even hear me. I'm eating. My bad. He's not getting one for all. Miro's getting one for all because it's time for Bakugo to stop getting one for all because that's all what it is in my videos anyway. Bakugo gets one for all and tries to kick Deku's ass, gets his ass kicked, and gets shown other words. And basically, Deku is arrived at what would be a hospital because, you know, that's what the robot is supposed to be taking him. Like, has a full... Doesn't know where the hospital is, but after observing it, it would know after a while, after people like, that robot's got a child in his head. I think it killed him. And basically, when the heroes or leftover heroes and police show up and says, put the kid down, he says, the hero pulls up the guy to take him out. Basically, they don't take it out because the robot has self-defense system. So basically, the robot dodges and be like, I am, basically it just says it's a healthcare robot and that this child is basically in a coma-like state and will not be coming out of it anytime soon. It's still taken into custody and dismantled, and Deku's in the hospital as Inko comes up there, you know. Deku wakes up from it, like, with a major headache and knowledge of, like, the known universe. It's right there in the instant, you know. Alright. Basically, after Deku gets out of the hospital, it's the beginning of the 10 months before the UA entrance exam. During these 10 months, like, a day into these 10 months, Deku's at home, not recovering, because he's just fine. He's just fine, because, you know, he's fine, you know. He's, like, doesn't feel that bad. He feels a little woozy. Until a little, like, Deku's, I don't know what the hell. Inko, like, drops her keys. No, she has a telepathic ability. She can easily get it. Yeah, basically Deku loses something that belongs to him, whatever the hell it is, under the bed. And basically, let's have his bed be clatter-packed, junked. And he can't get it unless he lifts up his bed. So when he goes to lift up his bed, like, the information from the Galvan Prime thing starts playing in his head again. Galvan Prime, like, aliens and stuff. And when he goes to lift it up, the next thing he knows, he's got the whole bed in his hands, in both of his two hands. Did he notice how his pigmentation of his hands have just changed? Then he has gone from 5 fingers just to 3. Pretty sure he has forearms, so it's like... He has 3 fingers, right? Or is it 4 fingers? I think it has 5 fingers. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, he has 5 fingers. The gloves kind of confused me for a second. You know, he has 5 fingers, you know. He doesn't have any gloves on because he's not Ben Tennyson or whatever the hell. I had to think about it for a second. I had to think, was my childhood just ruined? But then I thought about it. No, my childhood was not ruined. His skin is red and he has 4 arms. And then he noticed his vision is doubled as he has 4 eyes. As he did, like, what the hell? Because he says that, like, out loud, and Inko rushes in the room to see, like, what's going on. And she's Izuku with all different colors skin tone, the red skin tone, and he's lifting his bed up in the air. He's like, Mom, I think I've wakened me quick. As he puts down the bed after forgetting whole about the thing that he dropped out of bed, but it's not important. Basically says, Mom, I'm waking up quick. I get super straight to red skin. As all that disappears immediately as his 4 arms discrete back into his body, as there's 2 holes where his arms were. And if he actually took off his shoes, if he actually looked down, he would have noticed that he no longer had 5 toes. He would have noticed he had only 2 giant red toes. Oh my god, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to foot, but Inko takes him to the quirk doctor, and he's still quirky. He's like, what? He's like, what? How? How is that possible? Look at him. Look at him. He's going over to like the desk and he's going to lift it up. As soon as he goes to lift it up, the 4 arms activates again, and as he grows 4 arms, skin's turning red, and he lifts the desk up and said, "Look at this! I'm picking up a desk with 1 hand." As he notices how strong he actually is, like 1 hand. You gotta be kidding me. 1 hand, bro. You see this 1 hand, bro? one hand. I got 4 of them, and I'm only using one. He puts the desk down, like he's still like noted quirkless, and basically the doctors, he's bound now registered to have like a transforming type quirk. It's like 3 classes of them, but I forget each one of them, like emitter, mutant, and emitter, mutant. I forget the other one. I almost said Euclid, but basically he's got like a transformation quirk or something. I was gonna have him just like not say anything about it, but then I thought about it, like, wouldn't he just be discovered after he got into UA and showed off his abilities? Like, excuse me, what? Like, why would I do that? He's gonna have his quirk just blown everywhere. Yes, he got a transformation quirk. Yes, he's like just a transformation quirk. There's no name because it gets cringy when you name it Forearms. That just gets cringy. It gets cringy. Got a transformation quirk. He can alter his body to grow 4 arms, and his skin turns red, and has excess boost, and he can jump really high. He doesn't have much of a speed boost. He has a enhanced durability and stuff, because like 4 arms is really big and buff. He does get muscles in the form, just not really big ones. Basically, Deku goes home. He goes home, then he leaves his house to go, like, test out his abilities, and then he goes to the beach, he goes to the beach, basically, in the middle of his, like, testing out his super strength, a piece of debris was gonna fall on him, but in a little panicking moment, he started thinking, like, oh, crap, this is it. As the thing is blown to bits as Deku's hand is already on fire. So let's give this Omnitrix ability a security system. Like, he was in imminent danger. The Omnitrix calculated what he needed to survive, and yeah, I fucked up something. Yeah, so let's have the Sludge Villain incident happen later in the story. Because there was something I was going to do, but I forgot all about it. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot all about it. And the Sludge Villain incident is going to happen soon as Deku was like on his way back from like his little thing. And he was trying to go to the store to get some candy, so he took the short way there. On his way back, Sludge Villain shows up. But then as soon as he goes to punch it, the Omnitrix calculates what it should do. And instead of going into his forearms form, he goes into his a diamond head form. But instead of turning a diamond head, he just looks like normal Zuko, except his hair is all crystal and is all stuck in one state, while his entire body is made of crystal. As Deku's like confused by this, and as the Sludge Villain goes to attack, Deku blocks his arm, creating a shield which the Sludge Villain hits and does nothing. And that from point on, Deku starts to not kick his ass, but he starts to learn his abilities. As basically the Sludge Villain goes to attack him, but Deku just not Deku, but the Omnitrix just deploys deploys a entire ice wall, not ice wall, but crystal wall around the Sludge Villain. Blah 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 blah. All Might shows up. He collects the Sludge Villain to a he collects a Sludge Villain. Sludge Villain was shrunken down. It'll be like the size of a rock. Deku latches on to All Might, saying, "Can I be a hero? Can I be a hero?" It was like he's still in his hardened state because he doesn't know how to get out of it now. Because it's a whole different thing. Because everything has different rules and different turns and screws. And in the middle of this, All Might starts to bleed a bit more than he did in canon. And some of that blood gets in Deku's face, but he's like all disgusted, and he lets go because of it. Like it's in his face, and like All Might's crap, like oh crap. And he goes down to pick up Deku. Deku's still in his All Might form. I mean, All Might form. That's a spoiler. Don't worry about it. Don't get into it now. It is still in his crystallized form. He lands right down in the building where All Might and Deku did in canon. But instead of making a dent, the Omnitrix doesn't calculate what it does. The Deku is like made of crystal, and that's how this crystal be like a bit stronger, sturdier. As Deku hits the ground, not hits the ground, but All Might catches him before he hits the ground. And like, oh crap! As Deku's like, he turns back into Deku, like you hear like a crystal moving noise as the crystal is turned back into Deku. He's insanely overpowered, I realize, and a bit childish in this one. I think it's just me. Basically, they have that talk about how he can be a hero with a quirk, you know, and everything. Yeah. Basically, the whole thing with Baku does happen, except when Deku goes to rush in, you know, Heat Blast is something that, a transformation that he... No. The Diamond Head transformation is going to be activated again, because why not? When he goes to rush at him, he activates the diamond form, and he rushes at it. Basically, when he goes to his backpack, same amount of force and speed and stuff, and then he a new ability pops up where he goes to punch his sludge villain, but his arm expands out with a giant crystallized form, and then he punches the sludge villain. It goes through him, but then Deku launches out a bunch of ice shards. Because you want to know something? Like the Ultimatrix or the Omnitrix or something. It has a master lock or whatever the hell it is. Like when you turn into a transformation, like you immediately is up to its max form. Like you know how to use his abilities. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch Ben 10, because not classic, but Alien Force up to Ultimate Alien. They'll tell you what it's all about. Basically, Deku knows how to use all the abilities, as he then proceeds to whip the sludge villain off of that Bakugo. Not really a official alien, but when Deku goes to grab Bakugo, he forms a little shield around him and Bakugo. Just around his arm and Bakugo's body. As he pulled him backward, as Deku pulls out a giant sword-like thing. Not a sword-like thing, because I wouldn't do anything, because the guy's liquid. As Deku would stomp his feet, and basically it trapped sludge villain into another form of crystal. You know, like crystal. Zing, 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 crystal. Basically, Deku saves Bakugo, as Bakugo like, who the heck? And then Deku leaves out of the form, is like, oh, Deku! Deku like, what the hell? He has a quirk? Oh no! the heroes don't scold him, because, you know, he has a quirk. But they do scold him a little bit, because, like, that could have been very dangerous for you. Like, they think your quirks are superior. But in reality, Deku is, like, the strongest person on the planet. Being the fact that it's not a quirk, and the fact that he can have an ability in the future that's going to be extremely OP. Extremely OP. Extremely OP. Alright, I'm back. Oh shit. Basically, he goes home and he goes to the beach again because he's got new abilities to test out. And throughout his 10 months, he's going to be training his abilities. God damn it. Abilities. He's seen Midnight in action. He's studying her moves. He's learning some new things. It's like he has an HD HUD or whatever the hell it is inside of his head. He can record things down and replay them, which he thinks is really cool. But he hasn't said anything about it because he kind of knows everything that happened. Basically, he was abducted on an alien ship. They experimented on. He figured it out. He figured out it wasn't a quirk because whatever happened to him on the ship, he's now got superpowers. Anyways, for those 10 months, Deku trains and learns that he has a whole bunch of different abilities. Like I forget how many aliens Ben 10 has, but it has to be up to at least a fucking couple 100 million. The universe is big, bro. Like, the universe is big. The universe is big. I gotta tell you that now. We're just like a quarter of what's actually in the universe, anyway. He got a whole bunch of abilities, but something Deku's gonna discover in the middle of these 10 months that is gonna change the course of history of Deku being the #1 hero. Because he for sure is gonna be the #1 hero after this whole thing he discovered. Which throughout that entire thing, Deku was basically asleep for about almost a few days after after being mildly thirsty and stuff. You know, Deku slept for about a few days, and after that, his training resumed. You know, Inko is looks at him a bit differently now because what happened throughout the little middle of the 10 months kind of put her in shock just a little bit because, you know, it was kind of just caught off guard. Because first he can transform his body, and now he did this, and this not gonna expose what happened now because it's gonna come into it's gonna come in next into the next generation of stuff. Not gonna happen now, but later. Anyway, At the end of the 10 months, Deku's pretty much mastered his abilities. Not even uncovering the whole thousands and thousands of aliens he has at his disposal. He's learned about multitasking, or that's what I want to say. He can use multiple abilities at once, like Diamond Head and Heat Blasts. He can combine them two on one arm and like have a fiery crystal arm, which is very, very, very cool. And I picture it in my head. But if you don't picture it in your head, then you got the wrong idea. If he use a full, he can go into a full transformation and even multi use them. He can have forearms. He can have the abilities of forearms. He doesn't actually have their forms, like full forms. When he uses forearms ability, he's still the same size. So when he uses accelerate abilities, it just changes his formable, but he still have forearm attributes, but also have accelerate attributes, like a reddish tail with the tail that's like a bit red. And when he uses the form, a helmet forms around his face and his head, and his mask closed down. And you know how everything goes in normal Ben 10 universe. Basically, by the end of the 10 months, Deku is like going to the UA entrance exam. You know, he doesn't fall because I feel like he's more responsible and not an idiot or something. And probably is using his brain a bit more. Because Deku's had to put a lot of work into his transformations. Like, it's not gonna be like he did in Candy. Like, he did use his abilities like multiple times instead of just getting it in the middle of a training session and just not using it at all. You know. Anyways, yeah. But one thing I want to put out, when Deku uses Gray Matter's abilities, he has a choice to shrink down to the size of a bug. Of a remote or whatever the hell. He doesn't have a choice, but he can choose how much he can use it. He can just use the brain, which his IQ will be boosted by a whole crap ton, which would get him to get a score higher than Nezu's, which is like the smartest being on the planet. But yeah, the smartest being on the planet. Which it's just next to Nezu, like, he even corrected me in some of my very intelligent questions. He doesn't mumble, but Bakugo tries to talk to him, you know, but Ida does his thing. Deku doesn't pay attention to him. He gets everything else, then they head to the city, you know, for the battle of the robots. Transformers! The robots in disguise! And I did that. Transformers roll up in the sky. Transformers, robots in disguise. When everything happens, you know, Deku goes to cheer Bakugo. Not Bakugo, but Ubaraka. I think Uraka. I think I say her name wrong all the time, bro. Anyway, he goes up to go cheer her, but Ida gets in the way, yada yada yada. When the whole thing starts, everyone speeds off because, you know, like, there is no thing in battle. And as soon as that happens, Deku uses the accelerated morph and speeds past Ida. He's like speeds past Ida, like who the heck is that guy? Because Deku looks way different. He has green skin, and he has accelerated has like 3 fingers or 4 of them. I don't know. I think he has 3. Like, he has a entirely different look. He has a tail now and everything. He speeds past him, and since he has the ability to morph his arms and everything, so with the other transformation, he can easily do that. Destroys him. He has 4 arms and a crystal arms, firearms, and all that. No. Don't use too many abilities. Don't show everyone what you got. He uses just accelerate abilities and some of Diamond Head's abilities to destroy the robots. Racking up points with his incredible speed, he's gonna be ahead of everyone. Because since he's 13, he's faster than the Ben 10 was, and when he had accelerated his age. Because since he was like 10 years old or something, I don't know. I don't care. Anyway, I don't care. Yeah, accelerate form will get faster the older Izuku gets. You know, I could honestly care less with how fast or how old Ben 10 was. Because that was back then. It's not like his show's going on in a good way. The show's still going on in a reboot form, but it's not in a good way, so I'm not going to acknowledge it. Anyways, basically, you rack up points. Everything go the same like it did in canon. Izuku would help out others on the along the journey. Except when Uchaka gets in, like, pinned under the thing. Deku's not where he was in canon. He's like behind the robot. When he goes up to the robot, he's from behind. He's like, ah, crud. Oh, he's like, well, at least I get to use my next ability. You know, ability he hasn't got a chance to like really put out in the field test. And then at that moment, the robot has a giant hole in it with a giant green light going through it. You know, giant just green light going through it, like just big ass laser goes through it, and then the laser stops. Then a fist is just through the robot. Then another fist is through the robot until the robot is actually just taken apart because of the fierce strength of it. Because Waybig is probably just as tall as that thing. As the thing is then picked up, because why not? Deku's gonna be using that forearm strength. Picked up and tossed down and then beaten to a bloody pulp. Bing, bing, bing. As Deku's forearms and eyes recede as his body goes back to normal. He turns around and still in his way big form. He looks the same as Izuku, just his like skin is all different color. He has fins, the fin plates on his wrist, and not on his head though, but like you know. He walks over to Uchaka. I'm gonna call it Uchaka because I feel like I'm saying Ubaraka, right? Whatever. He'll go up to her and he shrinks down to modern size. And basically, Deku's had time to mess around with Galvan abilities. He basically made a suit that could withstand most of his transformations. Not all of them, but most of them. You know. Is that he picks up Ubaraka with his forearm strength, picks her up, accelerates over there to the gate, puts her down, and wishes her the best of good luck. As they go home, you know, Deku spends his time training and literally gaining more IQ, ungalvan knowledge, you know. This is when he's not going to have his first one with Vilgax. Vilgax is going to retreat back to go interrogate Vilgax and make him build another one. Because he can have a whole army with a bunch of people with Omnitrix and stuff. He ordered him to make the strongest one that he could ever imagine. That's going to come later in the plot, though. UA, stuff. Deku is going to get the top of the leaderboard, because why not? Why not? Why not? You can kiss my ass. My arse. You can kiss my arse, bro. Kiss my arse, right on. Yeah, UA, they go to UA, you know, by Deku is the class, you know, Baku's like, oh, the hell is that damn nerd here? How, whatever he does. Oh, look at that messy hair. Yeah. I don't feel like going through this part because there's nothing interesting happens in his story arc, you know. Ida apologizes for his dopey behavior. I don't think Ida saw. Yeah, Ida did see that though. I'm sorry for my dopey behavior, and like Ubaraka's like, I know that messy hair from anywhere. You look like, you know, yeah. They go down to thing for the training thing. Jesus, I'm getting lazy, getting really lazy and tired. As Deku scored the highest points, like it makes Baku mad, like motherfucker. Because Deku goes up to throw the ball, but when he goes to throw the ball, he has to think about this. So then, at that literal moment, Deku is. I don't think he'd use that way big transformation. Because I'm pretty sure it'd be too big for the thing. No, yeah, he's just gonna use his forearm transformation. This forearm transformation, and he's gonna toss the ball at least up the same amount of time, about height as Bakugo. You know, like boom. Anyway, so it's up to the same height as Bakugo, and Bakugo's like mad, like it's like, huh? He doesn't get the highest one because Ochaka got the highest. You know, he aced everything else though. Like grip test destroyed, speed test destroyed, endurance test destroyed. Literally everything destroyed, you know. Everything was destroyed by Deku. You know? He either did it in forearms or just did something else. Like, you know, it required him to be in cannonball form or something. He did it, you know. For the endurance, I'm pretty sure I had to go with forearms as well because he probably has a lot more endurance. Not getting the highest in the class for endurance, but getting somewhere near there for endurance. And basically, the hero versus villain's gonna go up to the thing. Basically, everyone's getting lined up to go to do their little matchup, the 1v1. Everyone's getting up there to do hero versus villain is Deku and Ochaka versus Bakugo and Ida. Bakugo goes off ahead to fight Deku. Deku's like cracks Knuckles, cracks him up. Alright, time to whoop some teenage ass. And he gets ready to go fight him because he's like, okay. As soon as Bakugo jumps out, Deku is like, takes the blast full head on. Because, you know, he's Deku and he's got his crystallized form. He's like, Before Bakugo can even do anything, there's a gut to his stomach that felt like someone with, like, I don't know, brass knuckles times 1,000 just punched him in the gut. Knocking the air out of him and sending him backwards. Not strong enough to put him out of the fight because like, he gets back up after breathing and almost vomiting. As everyone just sees like Deku in like this glass form or something, like this rock form was like, like it's Kaminari or this kid is Kirishima. I can't remember his name before jack shit, bro. Kaminari's like, he has a hard name for it too. That's interesting. I'm gonna have fun with this one. He's like, man, it's awesome. Another person that can just chill, bro, and be the be the bros or whatever the hell. Basically, you know, it wouldn't go the same way as canon, as Deku would just pop out another set of arms, and what did I say? Not go like it did in canon. It's not gonna go anything like it did in canon because Deku doesn't have one for all. Because Deku's gonna whoop his ass. Because Explosion's not doing anything because he just created a shield and tells Ochaka to go ahead. And Deku would just kick this shit out of Bakugo. You want to know how hard Crystal has to be, and plus have someone's fist be made out of that and hitting you in the face with enhanced strength. That has to hurt. And Deku will have to go easy because a punch from forearms will pretty much put you in the wheelchair. I'm pretty sure. You're not going all the way. Deku's just kicking his ass already. Once he throws a punch, there's another punch behind another punch, another punch. He throws an uppercut. There's two punches towards his face and his gut. He throws a right hook. There's a punch towards his face and then his shoulder. Everywhere, bro. Then Deku traps him in a little crystal and then makes him sit there. He's not going to get out as Deku just runs off to Ochaka, you know. Runs off to Ochaka, you know. Instead of going up the stairs, he just takes a giant fireball, having his fist glow, and then he just launches a giant fireball through the ceiling, go up there, and went right past Ida, almost hitting Ida, as Ochaka was about to go charge in, you know. And went through the roof as well, because why not? Went through the roof, and then Deku just speeds up there with a giant crystallized pillar. He just punches Ida right in his nuts. He's like, Ida's out for the count, like, boom, hitting him in the air, Ida's out for the count. They touch the bomb, they win, like, the low blow to the blow before the below the belt was not called for. Ida did not deserve that, like Momo said. Like, the whole thing with explosion could have been dangerous, could have set up the bomb or hurt Ida or something. And the everything else, like, you didn't let Ochaka do much. Like she got distracted Ida a little bit while you hit him in the nuts. But I was like, oh, my bad, I can get carried away sometime. And I'm having fun. Basically, everything goes by. You know, the USJ thing is gonna come up. The All Mights, you know, Deku and Bakugo versus All Might. No, yeah, that's gonna come up. I forgot that it was in season 2. I don't know. I could have less of a clue, bro. I had something else I gotta do anyway, bro. What's up? Basically, this USJ thing is gonna come up, you know, Bakugo and everything, you know, like, Bakugo's like, don't worry, like, Bakugo does do the same thing. Deku does do the same thing he did in Canon, like, saying how his power was, like, given to him, and so I was like, what the fuck? Does the same thing he did then, you know. Bakugo's like, things a question and stuff. And, the USJ comes up when they get in the bus. Like, they don't really have much to talk about Deku's quirk, because, like, Deku's quirk is just like everyone else's, you know, like, just something, not everyone else's, but Deku's abilities are like, it's like just random. Like, Deku's abilities are like really cool, like someone points out, like, yeah, like Bakugo's like, and they roast Bakugo and everything. They get to the USJ, and Deku isn't expecting anything, but then the portal of villains open up. Then they teleported everywhere like they did in Canon. You know, they did Kirishima and Bakugo. It was Kaminari. It was Kirishima, bro. I don't know. I don't remember. It was Kaminari, bro. It was Kaminari. I know. I remember. They tackle him to do the thing. They get teleported everywhere. But when Deku's inside the biome thing, Deku immediately uses Ripjaw's form and then kicks the hell out of the villain that was there. As Tsuyu sees Deku just whipping the shit out of the villain, and basically just tossing the villain aside, and then swimming up with the fishtail and everything, then jumping up out of the ocean, or whatever the hell you want to call it, onto the boat, and it basically he morphs back to his form, and boom, Tsuyu follows just behind him like, I'm fascinated how it seems he can adapt to his surroundings or something. Anyway, everything happens in canon except Deku uses his turtle, the turtle alien from Alien Force, Ultimate Alien. I have to lose track of what series they're part of. Pretty sure the same ones, just different episodes or whatever the hell. He uses the turtle thing as he grows a shell and he spins around and creates a wind thing powerful enough to move the water and everything. After that, they land there in Zawa gets his shit rocked by the Nomu. Zawa gets his shit rocked. Oh man. When the Kirigiri and the Nomu charge at everyone, everything goes a bit different because Deku uses his accelerate form, and since I've seen accelerate move throughout time and be all fast and shit, he moves Tsuyu. I forgot her name for a second. And just so Deku can be a bit of a dick, let's have him shove a giant crystal to Shigaraki's hand. As the Nomu would go to punch Deku because no Nomu's gonna be stuck in time, bro. Or that second time is slowed down. As that happens, everything happens, blah, 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 blah. And Deku goes way big. Not entirely way big, his arm goes way big as he multiplies it with forearm strength. And a crystallized diamond alien, and punches the Nomu back. His Deku's like, don't worry, I got this. As he just hits Shigaraki with another growing hand. Boom, sending him backwards. He charges up, he goes full way big, which is really big. It's in the name. As he charges forward, he has 4 arms and he's way big. He throws a blast, which is a bit stronger because he's got multiple arms. So, hits Nomu, takes off half of his body off. And then Deku goes to do the finishing blow, which he does, which then the Nomu gets up, having another side grown, and starts wailing on Deku's face, and then sends him backwards, and then he activates the diamond thing, and his entire arm, he basically crystallized forearm way big. As the punches would still hurt, because, of the whole Nomu designed to kill All Might thing. Basically, Deku would then, light up with fire using Heat Blast's abilities as well. And basically, Nomu will start to burn as well. And then he basically just claps it in his hand and sends it down to the ground. And starts to light it up with fire. And that's not how we're gonna kill it. Nomu jumps up, and then Deku just has one of those beams that's paired up. That fight is gonna end like that, bro. It's gonna end like that, bro. Get mad at me if you want. Beam, boom. The Nomu is then annihilated after his entire brain and everything else has been destroyed. And it was destroyed that fast by someone who isn't All Might. Shigaraki's pissed. Before he can do anything, a laser beam is shot towards Shigaraki. Let's have Shigaraki lose his other arm. Why not? Just lose his arm that got the crystal shoved through it. And Shigaraki loses his arm, loses his hand, not just the entire arm, but he loses most of his hand. Loses his up to his wrist, and then down to the... just loses it. He just has a little stub left. A little stub where his arm used to be. Where the forearm is, right? I don't know what I'm talking about, bro. Basically, he just loses that part. Kirigiri gets him out of there. Deku goes down to small form. Basically, it's tired and All Might gets there, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay. The Bakugo versus, Deku versus Bakugo, Deku and Bakugo versus All Might happens... No, Deku had full cowling in that fight, right? So it goes after the sports festival. Alright. I forgot about that, forgot about that little sequence. I haven't seen it in a while. I had to memorize it back, because I had to memorize it a little bit. Deku and Bakugo, and then, yeah. Bakugo's like, what the hell, man? He grew up to sizes and shit. And, fuck, I forgot. Then the time goes by, Deku gets more training, Bakugo doubles up his training to catch up with Deku. Because based on what's going on now, Deku can easily defeat Bakugo. And he starts thinking about that, because how Deku just easily took down the villain that was designed to kill All Might and could grow to normal sizes and completely obliterate him. Anyways, he doubled up his training to try to catch up with Deku. You're not going to catch up with him, because he can go beyond Pleniso Ultra. I don't think I said that right. The sports festival coming up. Fuck. I think the big 3 fight happened here and before the sports festival. Or did it happen after the sports festival? God damn it. Well, anyway, this video is gonna end off here because I gotta have everything happen. I got everything planned out because I can't rush it along too far because I'll forget everything I just did right here. So I'll see you later. And part 2. Deadpool and Godzilla and Yandere Goddess one is coming out soon. Just don't bug me.